Right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Monday Night Training. My name is Russell, and I'll be your host this evening. I've got some awesome speakers tonight. We're going to go over the topics of supporting nutrition, promoting events, and the sales system. Very interesting session by Lizette tonight. So, without further ado, we are asking that you just stay on mute while the speakers are busy. Any questions you have, you can put it in the chat so long, and feel free to interact with us. We will give you a chance. I have blocked the unmuting for now, but we'll put that back on later on when the sessions are done. If there's any questions that you want to ask. So just before we carry on with the session, we do have the new starter kit options. You know that there's been the price increase on the 22nd of August that takes effect. I just thought I saw it on a WhatsApp chat, and I thought I'd add that just as a reminder. And then, are there any guests or testimonies that you want to share something in the on the call tonight? I'll invite you to put your name and just put next to it that is maybe your first time on a training with us, or you're a guest tonight. Maybe you're not a distributor yet. Whatever the case is, maybe where you're on the call from. Let's get the chat a bit busy while our speakers are going, and just get some interaction going in the chat area of the call tonight. First up, I'm going to ask Kulsum to start for us, and I'm going to stop the screen share so that she can open her video and show us her personality with her voice.
Yeah, let's do it. It's Women's Month. We take over.
There we go.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry for that. Sorry for that. I always have my little thingy to say. But thank you very much, Russell. I'm excited to share my experience and my entrance into near life. I'm a retired health information officer from the city of Cape Town. I used to be, talkative, very talkative always. But what I realized is that sometimes you have to listen. You cannot just always talk. So what happened, how I got into near life. Um, my colleague was a near life distributor, and she knew that I was diagnosed with hypertension and hypothyroidism. And she got me. She spoke about the supplements and whatever. And like with a lot of people nowadays, you pay you pay your medical aid subscription. So why must you pay such a lot of money for other things? So I understand when people say it's a lot of money. I cannot take. But what I realized from my journey, being having been a chronic patient at that time, um, is that you cannot just start using supplements and expect it to work, but your lifestyle hasn't changed. And I was not happy because lifestyle didn't change. I'm rushed. I'm in a deadline driven job. So I'm always, rushing here and rushing there, and everything just goes on. And then two people, seniors in the business, I don't know, people just saw something in me and they didn't just want me to stop using it. So two seniors in the business spoke to me. They made an appointment with me, and they spoke to me about how I was using my supplements. And then I obviously told them at the time, I cannot even take a contraceptive tablet pill. How can I still take all these tablets? Not thinking that people are trying me to see that it's food, and it's only supposed to plug the gaps in your diet. So then what they just asked me, not even the nine doctors, they just asked me, can we ask you a few questions? And I agreed because get it over and done with. And they asked me how's my water intake? So obviously, not obviously, but I never liked water. So I never used to have even a half a liter water per day. What's your sleeping pattern? What do you how do you fit in? They didn't ask the question so straight out, but do you still have time to cook when you're so overworked or whatever? And of course, it was takeaways here and fast foods there and whatever. And exercise? No, not much of exercise because I drive into the civic center, into the basement. I go up the lift to the 22nd floor. So what they brought to my attention, and I would and I'm trying to use this with people who have chronic diseases. You cannot just come and expect the supplements to do its job, because then I was on Pro Vitality, for my, and I was on feminine herbal for the thyroidism, and I was on multi mineral, and these things just didn't show that it was working. And then I realized what they told me about the 9 doctors, I had to incorporate it into my daily life with my supplements. It's not different to my supplements. It's a part. So thank you, Russell. I could almost immediately, within the first week, I could feel the difference. I had more energy. I could see the difference in my face. I was more happy because I wanted to be around people who with laughter, because that was one of the doctors. So thank you very much, Russell. I enjoyed how I started because I'm much better off now at this point in time. Thank you, Russell.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Kolsum. Let's remove your pin quickly and ask Rashida if she can come and share her experience promoting events. And I asked her to have a specific example of where she had an objection from somebody, where she invited them to an event and they had a specific objection with why they couldn't make it and how she handled that objection. So Rashida, if you can hear us and unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everybody. My name is Rashida Rifdin and I'm in the business for almost 4 years. And my journey started when I was, my mother was introduced to the supplements, and I saw that there was a great change in her. And I got interested and I joined the business, not actually for the business, but for the supplements, for the 20% discount. 4 years later, I'm a qualified executive manager. So my topic is really very close to my heart because I had so many of those incidences where I invited people and they had lots of stories, but I'm just going to talk about my very first encounter with somebody. And I was on a holiday away with a couple of my friends, which was very anti-Neolife. And then I met this lady, and she was also, you know how we are Neolifers. The first thing we talk when we meet somebody new, and we start talking to them, we talk Neolife, and we invite them to the business. And as I was talking, and I just mentioned Neolife, she said, "Oh my God, I'm a Neolife distributor, and I am so disappointed I joined the business because the products are so expensive." I said, "Really?" I said, "And I just love the products. I enjoy it so much." I said, "Have you ever been to one of our training sessions? Have you been to one of our events on our Zoom calls?" She said, "No, I'm not interested." I said, "Okay, it's because you don't know enough about Neolife. That's why you're saying these things." And I said, "You are talking to already negative people about Neolife, and you're a Neolifer." I said, "Neolifers are very positive people, and I would like you to come and just one day," I said, "on a Tuesday, come and join us at Neolife and just see what Neolife is all about. Meet the family, meet the people. You will see how happy they are." And she said, "I love the Neolife shake. That's why I joined, because it's so expensive. But now I can get it at 20% discount." I said, "Exactly." I said, 20% discount. What more do you want? You love the product. You know what is in the product. She said to me, "No, I don't think I'm gonna go there." I said, "Okay." I said, if you're really not interested to know more about the product," I said, "then why are you still a distributor?" "Yes, I wanted 20% discount." I said, "I'm going to leave the ball in your court." I said to you, first of all, I'm inviting you to come for one training session. If you don't want to come, no problem. I'm not going to lose anything, but you will definitely lose. I said to her, "You will lose." I said, "You will lose the actual information that you will get to have a change of heart and to fall in love with Neolife and the products." She said, "Okay, I'll think about it." I asked, "Wait, now you're leaving?" The resort, she said to me on Friday, I said, okay. I said, you've got until now, till Tuesday to make a decision. I'm not going to contact you. You're not part of my team, but you are an eagle. You're part of the eagle team because we are all eagles. And I said, eagles, we help each other to fly, even if we can't fly. We help each other. And then she said to me, and I was very bit upset about attitude, because that really was a put off for my friends, because they were also very anti-Neo Life. I was the only Neo Life fan. I was the only one, positive and always just talking, about Neo Life and how the products help everybody and the products work. And, and I even phoned up, upline, and I phoned up the upline, and I was very disappointed in this woman. Russell, I got to the warehouse on the Tuesday. I got a shock of my life. She was there before me. And she was there before me, and she came every other week to the training. And I said to her the first day when I saw her, I said, welcome. I'm so glad you could make it. And she just smiled. She never said a word. She just smiled. And as the time went on, she actually became a manager, and she never dropped the status for months on end. She actually qualified almost every month with a 500 PV, personal PV. And I thought, wow. And we became such good friends, after that, and we're still so much connected. And I didn't even want to ask her what made her change her mind to come, but she thanked me for inviting her, even though she was so negative, and even though she wasn't interested, because she said to me, I'm not going to renew my registration. I'm not. But look there, just because I didn't give her the opportunity to let her negativity rub down on me, I could lift her out of that. And she is a new lifer. So thank you. That is my story.
That's awesome. Thank you very much for that, Rashida. I think there's a few things that already stand out between your and Kulsum's story is just positive attitude, and the fact that we know as neo-lifers in our events that we always have this positive attitude and this persistence that I think stood you in good stead in your objection handling there. So well done with that, Rashida. Thank you very much. Our next speaker will be Gail Fabric. I'm going to pin her to our chat, and Gail, you can take it away with your story. She's going to be giving us 3 tips on promoting events, just to build on what Rashida was saying. Gail, you can let me know when you want to change to the cover of the book as well.
Okay. Thank you very much, Russell, and good evening, everybody. My name is Gail, for those that don't know me, and I will only share my short story with you before I go into what I'm supposed to do tonight. In 2013, I was looking for a way to earn extra income and started a business of my own, which gave me the income I needed. But a year after into the business, I was diagnosed with a chronic disease. Through God's grace and mercy, I was healed, and in the process, I was introduced to New Life nutritional products, which contributed to the recovery of my body. Only on my not on my way to recovery, I discovered a business concept through New Life where I can earn an income, and that filled the gap of the business that I lost, that I did. I've set goals for myself, and today I'm executive manager and on my way to director. If I look back of where I was and where I am today, I can just thank God for His grace and His mercy and the amazing concept that I have registered into. So I am here to present promoting events, to invite, follow up, and fill the room. So today I want to share something very simple. how we can effectively promote our New Life events. An event only becomes impactful when we bring people into the room. And I will share 3 key strategies, and I encourage you to take immediate action on them today, because we're not simply just here to get information, but to take action. Number 1 is make your invitation personal. Do not simply send a poster. Take the time to personally invite people. Consider individuals in your contact list who may benefit from improved health, additional income, or a new opportunity. Today's action I would like you to do. Write down 5 names and personally reach out to each one of them. Number 2 is use the event script. Do not guess what to say. The tool I use in the New Life is the New Life event script. It keeps the invitation simple and removes the pressure from the conversation. So, one of my scripts I used was, "Hi Daphne, is it convenient for you to talk right now? I'm inviting you to a New Life presentation on Wednesday, the 15th of July at the Southern Sun Hotel in London's. I immediately thought of you because I believe this could be valuable for you." That's all you do. Would you be interested in joining me? That's the question you put. Notice that I am not trying to explain everything. My role is to invite. The event delivers the presentation. So today's action, take your 5 names and use the script to extend your invitations. Number 3 is the follow up and confirm. An invitation is not complete without proper follow up. People are busy, and no response does not necessarily mean no interest. So today's action, follow up with everyone you invited and ask. So here is my follow up question to Daphne. Hi Daphne, just checking in. Can I count on you for the New Life presentation? Then confirm the time, the date, and attendance details. Short and sweet. You can also use the phone scripts guidelines in your Eagle Team training manual. And that is good guidelines because it is just a normal call to somebody. Hi, Jack. Is it convenient for you to talk right now? Get the small talk out of the way. May I ask you a question? Would you be open to look at a way to increase your income over and above to what you are currently earning? Then wait for an answer to your question. And if the answer comes yes, you say, great, I may have something excited to share with you. I'm in a big rush at the moment and I will call you back in a day or two. There's also a follow-up call to Jack. There's also a phone script to professionals, and that I like. Good morning, Doc. Is it convenient for you to talk right now? I've seen a fantastic concept which has great income potential. It is not time consuming, nor are they looking for investments. Would you like to find out more about it? I'll call you back in a day or two and arrange to get together. So use the scripture. We have the training manual. Use it to our best interest because you have the tool, you have everything in your hand. You can also put in your own words when it comes to inviting. So in closing, so team, remember the 3 key points that you need to note down. Number 1 is make it personal. Number 2 is use the New Life event invitation script. Number 3 is follow up and confirm. Do not leave the Zoom session with only information. Take action today. 5 names, 5 invitations, and follow up. Use your training manual. We do not promote events simply to fill a room. We promote events because someone's life may change by attending it. So let's invite, follow up, and fill the room. Thank you very much, Russell.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Thank you very much, Gail. I managed to catch those tips as you were saying it there. You guys might note the Eagle Team manual is a old cover, but there are definitely newer versions of this training manual. Make sure you speak to your upline if you don't have it yet. And the tips are quite simple. If you have a chance, take a screenshot of the call now. The recording will be made available as well if you want to watch it back and go over what Gail had to say. So our second last session will be by Lizette, and she'll be talking about the sales system. She is one of the distributors that who I can really say over the years, from what I've seen in terms of recognition over the years, she's really one of the directors in the business that has been one of the most impressive in terms of sales, and really an expert on the topic tonight. So I'm really excited to share and to sort of open for Lizette in this session. So Lizette, if you can unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, Russell. Okay, so I'm going to start with a customer record card. This is something you have to do it. I mean, I couldn't manage if I didn't have this. You've got a card, you can get it from the Eagle Team. You've got the name that you're going to fill up, the address, the phone number. And then you can see you've got product and you've got the date on another column. And then your customer buys something, you write down what she's buying. She won laundry, she bought one. The soap, she bought one. And the tree and then she bought one. I should have put 60. I did put 60. So now you've got this already recorded. Then if in the future, if you want to add some sales, you go to that file and you see, okay, tree and then she bought 60. You should be able to get another order after 2 months. So then you contact them. But I'll talk about that later. But now what is very important for me, it is the record of myself. I've got the second slide, Russell, the one with the, voila, this one. Okay, so here it's something I do on Excel. It's very easy and gives me very much a lot of time because the calculation gets done by the computer. So now I will write down, each day I've got a cell, I'm going to write down the name of the person, how much they bought, the cost, and the profit will show straight away and how many PV. Then the first part is actually my customer part. Now, the second part is my wholesale customers. They all come to me, I do the order, I send the order, I do everything for them. Okay, so now the retail price, you're not going to put the retail price from your process. You're going to put the retail price they're paying because they've got 20% discount as well. And then on the right side, the cost, most of the time I earn nothing because I pay the same price. But because I buy cases, with the cases, you get another 5%. So I do a little bit of calculation there and I found out what I pay for the product she bought and it's giving me a little bit of profit. So in the end of the day, every day you will know how much money you're making. And, you know, it's so encouraging because we start that business to make money. And then in the bottom of the page, that's the number one. And we've got the number two, Russell, the second one. Voila. So that's for the wholesale customers. And in the end, I've got my total of profit. On that one, I did very well that July. I had 4,334 rand profit. So it's not a very small business. I mean, it's money. And then I had personal, myself, 1,156 PV. And my downline bought me 456. So everything is calculated. So I know what my customer bought for 720 point value and my downline for 436 point value. So the total of my retail was 34,782 rand, and I paid 36,447. And I had retail, what you call a bonus from Charlie, 1,750 rand. My bonus from the last month was 6,165. So now you can see I actually managed to get 12,248 rand for the month with all my stuff of July. So that's good enough, but not good enough, because when you start the month, you actually don't know what's going to happen in the end of the month. It's very scary, actually, because you did a very good month, you don't know what's happening. So what I've been starting doing from June, now, Russell, you're taking the second part. Voila. No, not this one. The one, voila, that one. So I started on the 10th of June, and I write down the turnover that I had that day, and the PV and the profit. And then I went to look for my PV from my back office. That was 637 PV. And then I did the same on the 18th. Each time I've got a new cell, I choose to write it down. I didn't complete it. I stopped on the 26th, but I mean, June was very good as well. So I stopped because I mean, the end of the month come and you're in a hurry and you've got sales and you forgot to carry on. And I did the same with July. So at least I know that on the 8th of 7th of July, I did a turnover of 15,975. But on the 10th of June, I was doing 13,000 turnover. So it's giving me an idea that I'm actually on track. And I'm doing that as well now for August as well. So August started very well, but I'm not sure what's going to happen until the end of the month. It's very, very difficult to know. Then what I've got here, yes. Also, what I do, I bought the calculator, what you call it, from Eagleton.
The program.
I do all the program. Have you got the calculator invoices? Yes. Okay, so I do all my orders and invoice on that calculator. It's so easy, except when it's a price change, you have to change all the price. But it is very, very nice and very easy to do. So you can see this one is for the distributor. So I've got the retail price, I've got the business volume, and I've got the PV and then the cost. Of course, this not going to work for the retail. It's going to work only for the cost, because as you can see in the end, I will have an amount. That's what the person will pay. But it's also very good to show a customer who buy the full price and say, you know, if you were a distributor, you would pay this against that. So you would save a lot of money. Then, so I've got the one for the customer now, and the customer is also very professional. Unfortunately, still GNLD, but GNLD is the company who's got nutrients, golden products, so it's not wrong at all. And then you've got only the retail price. And you've got all your information, you've got your cell phone, you've got your email address, you've got your what you call it, your website on it on top, and it's really, really nice. What else? What I do as well about and also, you know, when you arrive to the end of the month and you wanted to buy some product, and then you want to spend as little as you can, because today actually it's very difficult to. So you can use that calculator and work on it and try to see how many PV you can get. I mean, if you get 3 and 120, you get a good BV and a lot of PV as well. So you try to work it out what would be cheaper for you to buy. For me, I will always buy 6 washing powder and 6 Super 10 and 6 LDC because it's just going all the time. Also, I wanted to say something about, am I okay with the time?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay. All right, the top of one customer bottom, also track steady cell equals a calculator. Yes, what I wanted to say also with the calculator, you know, I've got a printer, but printer cartridge costs a lot of money. I mean, I would pay 1,200 rand. That was last year. Today it could be much more. So what I do, I actually take a picture of my invoice on the computer, and I send it to the warehouse, and I send it to my customer, and I send it to everybody. Okay. And then, so what I do also, I take a piece of paper, like I start recycling a lot of paper. So I cut my paper in the size of the retail book from the Eagle team now, the one making. And then I copy by hand what I sold. And I filed it in a file once every week or when I've got enough. And then from there, I record it on my record card. Okay. So you're saving money on everything actually, and that's what we have to do today. Then when I've got, I record everything on the card. And when I'm feeling that I need to add some cells because it's been quiet, so I go back to that file and I look at all the names, what they bought and if they finished, if I've gone there for certain things. So it is very, very practical to get this. Now, performance. I like to know how much money I'm going to make in the end of the month, how many PV I've got. So I've got now a part in my Excel that I call performance. So every day I will go to my back office and see how much PV I made and how much BV. And then I see who bought. So I've got quite a lot here. So Tiffany is a member. So I'm earning also a little piece of the cake because she paid the member price, not the cost price. And I've got Evia, and then I've got Amanda, and I actually not running to a certain point. Now, if I see that I don't have my 3,000 points, and I'm very close to my 3,000 points, that's when I'm going to buy a little bit of product. And also, I do the calculation. I know that person has 500 points, so she's going to get 500 points. She's going to get 5%. So I've got a column for the percentage, the one for 3%, the one for 5%, and 5% is usually 500 points. But if somebody do 1,000 points, so it will be another amount. So I do my calculation. So I know exactly, and I come right to see in the end, I've got my total, and then I've got the total from Neolife. And she's actually getting a little bit more than me. And then I know where I'm going. And it's so important to know because we don't have a salary. It's not like in the beginning of the month, you're going to have, in the end of the month, a certain amount, and it's going to be always the same amount. It's not like this. So I have to look at what I'm doing every day. All right, I think this should be enough for me. If you've got any questions, please ask me, Russell, if I forgot something.
No, I think that is awesome. That was quite a lot to take in. Thank you very much for that, Lizette. I know that for some, they were struggling a bit with the audio. And I think the main thing to take out of this is that you need to have a sales system. Just going back to the very first slide that we had here, it doesn't need to be exactly as Lizette is doing it. You need to find your own way that works for you. And as our leaders have always said, if you have a way that works for you, keep doing that. But make sure that you include what is the retail cost, what is the actual wholesale cost, what you're actually paying, what is your profits, and then monitor your PV as well, obviously, and all the way up to your BV. So if you have a system that monitors all of those things, that is the main point of all of this. And thank you very much to Lizette for sharing all of that with us. If you do want to know more about the Eagle Team application, the computer program that she was talking about, that is the one that's on screen now that shows the distributor version and the customer version. You can get in touch with the Eagle Team office or via your upline, and they can find out for you. So thank you very much to Lizette for that one. And like I say, for those that are struggling with the sound, I'm monitoring the transcript here. It's picking it up very nicely throughout Lizette's talk. So we'll have a complete summary of what she said as well. I'm going to, without further ado then, just pause for a second and see if there are any questions in the chat, aside from the sound issues people were having. So there was a question of what is BV and what does it measure? So the best way we've been taught to explain these kind of things is to actually refer to a tool. So I'm going to just go through my notes quickly. I just want to see, I've got the latest distributor price list that was posted recently. Just want to make sure I get the right one. And if you open your distributor price list, you will find that, just get it open here for you. On the very first, the cover of the price list, you'll see this page. And then on the very next page, you will have the contents, and then underneath that it says how to use the distributor price list. And if you look underneath that, it's got all of the descriptions and the explanations of what all of the terms we've been using and some of the other terms you might hear in other trainings and other talks in your life. So you'll see there the business volume, or the BV, is the value on which your volumes are accumulated for company bonus payments. So in other words, that is how they will calculate how much sales volume bonus you'll get at the end of the month. It can get very involved and technical. So the best is, if you are a distributor, I see there Dr. Nambasi has also said BV is business or bonus volume, the figure per product that's used to calculate commission bonuses. The way that I've best understood it is by having a look at what is my BV after a month, seeing what I've sold or what I've used, and in calculating all of that and looking at the statement at the end of the month to see how that actually works in reality. Because sometimes if you get an example, it's difficult to make sense of it. But if it's your own example, if it's what you've actually done for the month, then you can start to put the pieces together. And of course, as I've said a few times for different topics tonight, speak to your upline. They should also have a way to explain it. And if you didn't know, Neolife SA does have a YouTube channel as well, with plenty of material there to teach you more about this. I think the Winning Wednesdays series was quite a good one if you're looking for something specific, where they teach you a lot about all of these kind of things. Any other questions on the chat? I don't see anything. So I'm going to move on then to Marina and ask her to carry on with her session on near-life events. She's basically going to tell us about events that you can attend and the upcoming events. So just to give you an overview of, before she gets started, Marina, you can unmute yourself so long. Basically, we've tried to start a process where we've got a sort of a spreadsheet where we're looking at our annual, our monthly, our weekly, and our upcoming local events, to keep them all on a spreadsheet so that it's not so difficult to go and find it whenever we do the segment in a training. So Marina, you can take it away and walk us through your slide.
Thanks so much, Russell. Just wanted to say it's been a real pleasure to be doing training with you guys. It's very well organized and very AI and visual and everything. So it's awesome. Thanks so much, guys. So for our events, as we all know, our very big event is coming up on the 17th of October in Pretoria. And if you still haven't gotten your tickets, you can still make up and get the tickets. It's going to be really, really awesome. I just wanted to read a little bit as to why exactly, what do I take from the events, if I may, just briefly. So I think if I think about why events matter, it's not really about the products per se, but obviously it's about the people and what happens to me when I'm in the room. It was so awesome to see the whole of Cape Town crew in bloom. And I think what happens to me that I don't even know sometimes that I need something, but every time I go, someone shares something, and the way they're explaining the product or the story or a tiny little tip, like Nelly was sharing something about LDC in a tiny little bottle, how she puts it first on her hands, goes into the public bathroom, comes out and washes her hands. And I go, wow, this is such an incredible, tiny little piece of wisdom. So I kind of collect those germs and all. And I think for me personally, what's important is not to basically, I get to watch people who are further away down the road from me, but not to compare myself, but to learn. Watching how someone else talks about Neolife is, just 1 second, I'm so sorry. Sorry, my family. So I get to watch people that are down the road from me, and also it does fill me up because sometimes, you know, I don't know about you, but sometimes you can get very lonely, and being far away from from big cities in Port Elizabeth or somewhere in the farm, like some of us, you know, it can get a little bit lonely, and sometimes can feel like it's slow and quiet. But then when I see people that get to this doing the same thing, and suddenly I remember why I started and why I do that. So the energy is real, and it doesn't last if, you know, if I kind of don't top up. And it's not about the hype. I think I had to wrestle with that a bit, in the sense that it's not about coming up, being all fired up and running for 2 days and then non-stopping. I don't think people on this call belong to that group, but it kind of, it does fill up. One of my very good quotes over that I say sometimes and use, I stole it from somebody actually, from network marketing. Stay close to fire. So the closer we stay to fire and the more wood we put, the better it burns, and the, you know, the longer the effect is. So going back to the events quickly. So then Bloemfontein has not been announced yet for next year, but it will be. We know it's somewhere in June. Then we do have our RISE events yearly. That also is to be confirmed in each and every area and country. The monthly ADT we're going to have with AND most likely this time. We have that with Mark and also Hazel, and everyone from the World team participates in that. Then if we go to the weekly events, we have our personal growth with Mark and Hazel's team. It's on Monday and Wednesday at 8 o'clock on Zoom, so for about 45 minutes. It's almost like a tiny boot camp. If you go to the gym and if you go to this session, then you're pretty much good to go for the day or for the week. Then we have our training on the Monday at 7:30 on Zoom. Then we have our Tuba Tuesdays in Cape Town with Hazel's team, and she's very kind in accommodating, and I've always dreamed of going there and just learning from 11 o'clock till 12. Business opportunity meeting, we normally present on Thursdays, except for last Thursday of the month when we have the nutritional seminar. It's also at 7:30 on Zoom. So, and then we have our group check-ins Sunday evening in Hazel's team. That's normally up to the team leader what time that is. Keith Bosenberg is coming to Quebec next, not next Saturday, but the Saturday of the 29th. So on a Friday, we will have business opportunity here. If you have anybody in Port Elizabeth area, you can just send them my way. And also Cape Town will have training event with Lebo on the 24th and the 25th of August at Neolife. They will have 2 sessions, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, for those who kind of finish their early shifts at work earlier. And it will be in Montague Gardens. So just ask your upline for more detailed information on that in that leaflet. And that's, I think that's about it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Russ.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to ask if Hazel or maybe Dr. Nambasi wants to close with anything, looking at who the leaders are on the team tonight. Hazel, can I offer the floor to you first? And if you have something to close for us. Cool. I suppose I need to make you a co-host. Let me just remove that limitation quickly. Hazel, you should be able to unmute now.
Russell, sorry, I can't. I'm on the road. I was just listening in. Sorry
No
about
problem.
that.
No
Okay.
problem. Let me go to Dr. Nambasi quickly if I can find her on the list here. There we go. Co-host. Checking the chats as well. Nobody else has posted any other questions. So, Dr. Nambasi, if you would be so kind to close the meeting for us with some wise words.
Yeah. Sorry, it's been one of those evenings. Good evening, everybody. I don't know whether I can be seen or should I leave my camera off? Because I'm on my phone.
It's fine. You can speak without your camera as well. That's fine.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, thank you so much for this training. It's been phenomenal. I like the way you've arranged it, and the speakers, well done. I've learned a lot. Lizette's session took me back to that Eagle Team calculator that I'd totally forgotten about. Oh my word. But I'm so glad to hear that it is still being used. I use a different invoicing system, but maybe I should investigate that if it is more cost effective. But well done, ladies. And I really enjoyed the sessions. They speak real languages to us and to the people who are listening. You might recall that Mark and I said the last time that we closed the meeting that we should get used to going out through the front door. I think that's something I said. Then I just mentioned that I would go to Pretoria for for Explore. Well, I was there on Saturday, and so was Mark, and it was very, very exciting. I think we were given sessions impromptu because they saw that we were there, and I must say it's a good habit to go out of your front door and explore places and visit places if you can. I enjoyed the experience, and in the process, I had somebody start in the business with a combo kit, and she was so excited. So the following day, Sunday, I assisted a downline to sign up somebody in the area. So maybe that's something that we should do for each other. Just visit each other and get to see what is happening in another part of the country. And we are going to get that opportunity in October for sure. I hope everybody is going for Impact. I look forward to seeing all of you at Impact. And thank you, Marina, for the upcoming events. That's all I can say. The month is coming to an end. I think we only have one more week before we start looking for our goals for the month end. So run for them, don't stop. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Dr. Nombasi, and thank you to everybody who participated tonight. The recording will be made available, and so will the transcripts and summary. So look forward to that on your groups, and speak to your upline. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.